Hello and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a ballet tutu in CLO3D. I know many of you may not get the chance to make an actual tutu costume, but this tutorial is really about understanding how to construct the pattern in CLO3D and exploring different types of garments. Once you see the methods and tricks I use, I hope it sparks new ideas and inspires you to apply them to your future designs. Alright, let's dive in and get started. In the 3D window, I have uploaded a female avatar and created a base leotard bodice in a stretch material. I added a 2-inch dropped waist internal line for the ballet panty section and a strapless neckline for the top. Each internal line has been divided using cut and sew function. For the shoulder part of the upper bodice patterns, I will assign a new material and lower its opacity to 0 to make them transparent. This is a great way to keep the strapless sweetheart neckline in place. In the panty section, I added 2 internal lines. Hold Shift and select both lines. Right-click and choose Distribute Internal Line between segments to add 6 more evenly spaced internal lines. These will be used to attaching ballet tutu layers. A traditional tutu skirt usually has about 8 to 12 layers of tulle. For this example, I will make a 8 layers tutu skirt. Before moving on to the next step, if you're not familiar with creating a leotard from scratch, here's an easy way to replicate my pattern. Using the panty as an example, start by taking a screenshot of the pattern from my video. Create a rectangle pattern and upload the screenshot as either a graphic or a texture onto that piece. In my pattern, the center back measurement is 9.57 inches. Use this measurement as a reference to trace the center back seam following the screenshot. Then, use Transform Graphic tool. Adjust the graphic until the center back length matches exactly. Once it's scaled correctly, trace the entire panty outline, ensuring all points are connected. Next, select the internal shape, right-click, and choose Cut. This will give you a duplicate of the panty pattern directly from the screenshot. Here is an image of the base leotard bodice used in this demonstration. You can take a screenshot and follow the same steps to recreate that pattern as well. Before creating the tutu skirt layers, first I need to ensure the base leotard bodice fits well on the avatar. When making a brief style design, it's important to keep the panty lines in the correct position. For this example, I've turned on the elastic function and set the ratio to 100% on the panty line segments. Without this setting, the panty lines tend to ride up significantly. Here is another method you can do. Go to Top Window Toolbar, under Avatar, and select Basic Circumference Measure Avatar. Click 2 points to activate the function and adjust the angle of the tape. Then select Attach to measure avatar. Select both the panty line and the tape, click Simulate, and it will attach the panty to the measure tape. For the opposite side, you can right-click on the measure tape and choose Duplicate to symmetric position. Then repeat the same steps. To make fitting easier, you can widen Avatar's legs by adjusting the joint points. Check out my previous tutorial if you don't know how to move Avatar's joint point. Next, I'll begin constructing the tutu skirt layers. First, I'll add a new material in the object browser specifically for the tutu pattern pieces. Traditionally, classical ballet tutus are made from netting or tulle. Netting provides more stiffness, while tulle offers a softer drape. Depending on your design, you can select the material that best achieves your desired look. For this demonstration, I'm using a mesh-textured fabric from Fabric folder in Library. In the Property Editor, under Physical Properties, I'll reselect the preset to a stiffer fabric and maintaining the mesh appearance. This will help the tutu layers hold their shape while preserving a delicate, airy texture. Back to 2D window, click the first internal line from the bottom on the panty pattern to check its length. It measured 30.26 inches. Using the rectangle tool, I will create a 90 by 3 inch strip, roughly 3 times the measurement of the internal line. There are 2 ways to attach this piece, either by making pleats or by gathering the seam. Since this tutu will have many stacked layers, gathering is the fastest and easiest option. Go to 3D window, rotate the pattern and move it close to the panty. Attach the top segment to the first internal line using the sewing tool. Freeze the base bodice and click Simulate. If there's no issues, connect the center back seam and reduce particle distance. At this stage, the tutu looks more like a soft ruffle. However, I would like to have a pleated look for this design. To achieve that, hold Shift, select the 2 side segments, right-click, and choose Distribute Internal Line Between Segments. Based on the pleat width you want to create, enter the appropriate number of offsets. For my design, I prefer smaller pleat about ½ inch wide, so I entered 150 in offsets. Click OK to exit. While all the internal lines are still highlighted as yellow, go to Property Editor to turn on Fold Rendering. Select Pleat Fold tool from the 2D window toolbar. Click a point to start and drag the dotted line through all the internal lines. Double-click at the end of the line to bring out Pleat Fold window. Select Accordion Pleats and keep all the others setting as default and click OK. Simulate, and I have finished the first tutu layer. You can lower the particle distance more to enhance the pleating, but if your computer is slower, keeping it at 10 is fine. It's important to make sure your first tutu fits correctly and lays smoothly. You can strengthen the pattern to help you adjusting the piece during simulation. Once the first layer is complete, the rest are easier. To create the second layer, simply duplicate the tutu pattern. For each tutu layer, I will gradually increase the width and the length. You can resize the piece with the Transform Pattern tool. However, to have a precise measurement, I will select the side segment line. Right-click and choose Offset Pattern Outline to add the distance to extend the length. Then do the same to extend the bottom segment. I will also redo the accordion pleats and sew this new layer onto the second internal line of the panty. Freeze the first tutu layer to prevent collisions and simulate. To make it easier to attach tutu layers on top of each other during simulation, you can select the second tutu pattern and change its layer to 1 in Property Editor. Click Simulate. Adjust the piece and make sure it's smooth and flat all the way around. If no issues, change the layer back to 0. Before making the next layer, I will unfreeze the panty pattern and simulate to double-check the fits. As you can see, the internal lines on the panty stretched out after attaching the tutu layers. To fix the issue, select the internal lines and turn on the elastic function in the Property Editor. Set the ratio to 100% and simulate again. Now it fits great. Repeat the same process to create the rest of the tutu layers. By the way, if you extend the entire length on one side only, it can sometimes be difficult to adjust during simulation. You can divide the length and extend it on both sides instead. After all layers are completed, unfreeze all the pattern pieces and simulate. The tutu naturally drops and drapes, which is perfect for a classic ballet style. For this demonstration, I like to create a pancake tutu, which is a type of classical tutu with a flat, horizontal skirt that sticks straight out from the hips like a plate. Normally, it will have a metal hoop to support the tulle layers, but this method doesn't work well in CLO3D, especially when adding accordion pleats. Even adding bond or strengthening the pattern doesn't help to keep the layers lifted. So here's another trick you can use: apply pressure. Select all the tutu patterns. Go to the property editor, gradually increase the pressure, and simulate until the skirt reaches the desired position. Once it reaches the desired height, stop the simulation and freeze all the layers. With all the tutu layers completed, the next step is to add the top skirt. Click Panty Waist segment to get the measurement to create a circle using Ellipse tool. Right-click the circle and choose Offset Pattern Outline. I will make the skirt 2 inches shorter than the tutu. Use Trace tool to select the center circle and hit Enter or Return key to turn it into an internal line. Then select this line, right-click and choose Convert to Whole. Add a center back internal line. I will take out some fullness from the circle pattern as well. Attach it to the panty waistline using the sewing tool. Rotate the piece in the 3D window and position it above the tutu layers. Click Simulate to let it drape on the tutu layers. To make the skirt lay flat and smooth, I will adjust the waistline from circular to oval shape. Also, I will increase pressure to make tutu layers raise up more to almost parallel to the floor. After adjusting the skirt in the 3D window, it still isn't laying as smoothly as I'd like. To refine the shape, I'll remove some of the fullness by adding internal lines, then cutting and merging the seam back together. And the top skirt is fitting pretty good now. Strengthen all the patterns and simulate again to smooth out all the pieces. And a ballet pancake tutu pattern is complete. Many ballet dress will add boning to support the ballet dancer's torso. To add the boning to the bodice, select all the bodice patterns. Right-click and choose Layer Clone under to make a duplicate. Then remove linked editing. Start drawing boning shape on the bodice with internal polygon tool. Use cut and sew to separate them. Select all the boning patterns, lower particle distance and add desired thickness. Assign a harder, stiffer material. Then add bond and choose reinforcement under collar for preset. Run simulation to make sure all the pieces are correct. And that's how you can easily add a boning to the bodice. The final step to complete this ballet tutu is adding the embellishments. First, I'm changing the bodice fabric to a rich navy blue velvet for a more luxurious feel. For the top skirt, I uploaded a print to the base color map. Scale the graphic and adjust placement using Edit Texture tool. After that, I'll switch the top skirt fabric to velvet as well, so it perfectly matches the bodice. Next, I'll add gold embroidery graphics to the skirt. To make the embroidery look realistic in the final render, I'll apply normal and displacement maps in the property editor. Around the hem of the top skirt, I will add a few internal lines and apply beaded trims using the top stitch function. For the upper bodice, I will place a few more gold embroidery designs to the front panel and embellish it with blue and gold studs to create a touch of sparkle. For the tutu layers, I decided not to use the mesh texture. I switched to a solid gold fabric and reduced its opacity to 30%. Once the design is complete, I will change avatar to the custom pose I created for this ballet tutu. Make sure to unfreeze all the pieces first. If the avatar's arms collide with the skirt during the transition, use the joint points to adjust their position before applying the pose. After the avatar switched to the new pose, right-click on the avatar and select Move Avatar and Garments to Ground. Simulate one last time with lower particle distance and finalize the fit and skirt position. Here is the final render result. And that's it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you've been following my channel, making these tutu patterns should feel pretty straightforward by now. You can download the free ballet shoe and dance pose from my Connect Clothes Set page by using the link in the description. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more tutorials. I'll see you in the next one.